What is up? And welcome back to another episode of So There's That. I am your hostess, doing the mostest. And y'all, I am here with so many mixed feelings. Season 3, the final season of Blood of Zeus, which is created by, let me get the correct name, two Greek brothers who decided to bring us an adult animated show which literally blew on the screens on Netflix in 2020. Now, it did take them 4 years, okay, to get to season 2, which we got last year, and we got the announcement that we were getting the third and final installment, okay? So, what I really love about the show before I get into a little bit of a recap, and then review and thoughts and all my feelings around this show is that we I feel like we're finally getting Greek mythology in the most authentic way that we can, given the fact that these brothers were not born in the time in which, Greek mythology happened, right? And so there's a lot of things that we make up, right? We do all these period pieces and shows, and we're making up the accents of all of these people from like so and so AD, BC, or whatever. We don't know what they sounded like. We don't know really what they looked like. And, with a lot of whitewashing and all these other things, there's really no real account. But you get a show, I'm sorry, I'm like looking down. I should already have this up with their names. You get a show that depicts not only the gods, but the characters in an array of skin tones, um, different looks, backgrounds, clothing, things that would have fit the period, but something that somebody like me can look and be like, okay, I'm absorbed into this, right? And we could say, what we want about representation, but much like, so like when you read, unless it's explicitly saying, skin color, height, hair color, all these other things, most people just project the imagery of the people that's around them. So like for me, for example, when I read, lots of times if they don't say anything, at least the main character in the frames are going to be black. But then depending on the personality, I'll assign like physical attributes based on people that I know or people that I've seen. And so it's just natural to do that. So to have a show like Blood of Zeus really just put out um representation of what Greek people look like, not only in Greece and in the Mediterranean, but like for me, like I grew up in Chicago. There are Greeks everywhere. Like I like grew up around Greek people. And so I've already seen them look certain ways and stuff too. So it's just really nice. And I hope that the Greeks watching can feel proud that people who are of that ethnic group and heritage actually put something out there that a lot of people love and adore. So what I was looking for while I was talking is to look at the spelling of the name because I didn't want to like mess up the pronunciation. So it was created and written by the Parlapanides brothers, Charley and Vlas. Greek, like I already said, this show is centered around Heron and Seraphim and of course Zeus. If you want to know like everything that was going on between season 1 and season 2, you need to just go ahead and binge watch all the seasons to include the final seasons. It's 8 episodes each season, anywhere between 22 and 25 minutes per episode. So you can literally, that's like 4 hours of your time per season. So nothing too crazy. You can binge it over a weekend or just across a few days. But the quick background is, Zeus, y'all already know Zeus be out here. Okay, so in his wild oats, he got kids everywhere in different area codes. And one of the kids is Heron. Okay. But Zeus's baby mama and Heron's mom, Hera didn't like her because she was like, oh, I know he be sleeping around on me, but like this one, mm, he like loves. And it comes to find out that she's out here and she's putting out all the stops and all of the fates and everything so that Heron's mom is killed. And we get to a point where, she's pregnant with twins because she was married to this guy. You know how it is. It's like, oh, I need my legacy babies and this, that, and the third. And so one of the babies is born. But then the other one is like, he's like, this baby don't look nothing like me. And so Heron is basically snatched from his mom. She basically loses both her kids, right? But Heron grows up thinking like, okay, I'm an only child, this, that, and the third, okay? We moving forward, fast forward. We find out after Seraphim kills Heron's mom, it's like a whole thing, y'all. We find out after this and the discovery of Heron's true bloodline that Seraphim and Heron are brothers, okay? But Seraphim was kind of given like the shit end of the stick and had to go out and make these deals. And so he's like a half demon or like some type of demigod. And then obviously Heron has the blood of Zeus in him. So he's a demigod as well. So while they share the same mother, they have different fathers, two different eggs, fertilized, etc., etc. Okay. So with all of this, Hera turned all of the siblings against Zeus because one of the things that happens, I think in season 1, they was like, it was season 1 or season 2 when Heron came up to Olympia. And they was like, damn, how many kids he got? And Hera was like, we're tired of you slinging your celestial peen everywhere. Like, you got to go. And so they basically boot him from Olympia and, got him paying for his crimes against crotches and humanity. And, Heron is going through the whole, the bastard thing, and you're not really a god and all this other stuff. And we're really looking at like, okay, who's going to take up arms or whatever. Now, Hera, my girl is a goat. A great complex woman character. In fact, all of the women characters are amazing. But one of the main plots in season 2 is Hades. He's like, you know what? Zeus gave me the shit end of the stick. I'm tired of my baby moms and my wifey only being able to come over here 6 months out of the year. Hades is married to Persephone. Persephone mama is Demeter. Okay. Now, Demeter, she got like super crazy attachment disorders with her daughter. And she uses this moment to try to like sow discord amongst everybody and to really just manipulate Persephone into not being with Hades by slowly like poisoning and weakening the gods and making it look like Hera did it, right? Because Demeter and Persephone, they are like the goddesses of like earth and the seasons and everything like that. So while Persephone, she can bring you flowers and she can bring you all these things, baby, she gonna bring destruction, thunderstorms and everything like that. Where Demeter is more like poisons, right? She gonna give you the herbals to help you or the herbals to kill you. Okay, so we going through all of this and we're trying to figure everything out, and the gods are trying to figure out like why they're weak. Like they can only access maybe 60% of their powers. But by the time we get to the end of season 2, it comes out like Hera's like, yeah, I know y'all trying to say that I did this, but I did not. And also, I think I might have crossed some lines here, Ryan. My bad. Listen, I not only cared about my sons, but like, you might be alright. But at this point, we're looking at the heels of prophecy and we're really looking at the heels of acceptance and Seraphim, right? What side are you going to choose? Because he has his own singular focus on the woman that he loves and reuniting with her in the other world. Like he wants to get her so that her soul can actually cross over, because it's the only good thing that has ever happened to him in his life. But Hades is like, listen, everything I do for me, my kids, and my baby mama. So at the end of season 2, he stabs Heron in the chest. Okay. And he's like, fuck that. I'm not going back to the underworld. Y'all got me fucked up. Like, no, no. And so here we are. Gaia has appeared at this point. Because my sis was sitting back and she was trying to let everybody figure it out, trying to let everybody have free will. But she's like, hell nah. So she had came up and she trapped Hades inside of the earth. So she created like a mountain beside him. We open up season 3, Heron laying down. He's really just going through mentally like his life. And we're kind of teetering on the whole like clinging to life or letting go and crossing into the other world. And Heron said, you know what? I'm gonna die one day, but not today. And my man went straight Super Saiyan 7 on everybody. Okay, a celestial crash out. My man's got up, yanked that dagger from his chest, and came out and was like, I am so tired of y'all playing on my top. I done already told you that Zeus is my daddy, but now I'm going to have to show you better than I could tell you. So now everybody looking like, oh, okay, like, hold on, Heron. It was just jokes. It was just jokes. You got people like Hermes, and like Athena and them. They're like, hey, bro, like we was always on your side. Like, don't put us in this mess with Hera and Hades and Demeter and them. Like, we ain't got nothing to do with this. But he busts up out of there. But Gaia's like, you know what? That's great and all. But I literally sat up here and was trying to figure out, okay, are the gods and the humans going to be able to get along? And y'all didn't. Y'all literally over here beefing over bloodlines. And for what? For what? You messing around with people's fates, because Heron's fate has been cut. So he's not long for this world anyway. He already knows that. And so Gaia's like, okay, from this point forward, when people hear about my name in the history books, they're going to know that I'm the one who brought peace. But before I bring peace, I'm going to bring hell on earth. Meet my good guy, Typhon. And she unleashes Typhon on all of them. And when I tell you it was a Sunday roast, he was out there flame broiling Olympians, okay, from the fire in his chest. People just dying left and right. At this point, it's all about like survival mode. Like, what the hell is going on? Seraphim getting out of the way because he's like, the fuck? And Heron goes up to the guy and he was like, girl, what are you doing? I literally did everything that you said. I'm following all of the steps that you ordered before me. Like, what is up? She was like, bro, I tried doing it your daddy way and just letting everything be peaceful. But obviously your half siblings, they don't want peace. Your stepmama, they don't want peace. And so what we finna do is we finna raise the lands and we just gonna start over. We're just gonna start over. So it's giving revelations. And Heron's like, you know what? I can't even let none of this happen. But we're looking, and Typhon is really over there wiping them to a crisp. And you can really just see it in all of their eyes, where it's just like, okay, no matter what is going on, like we literally need to get the fuck up out of here and we need to depend on one another. Hermes is doing his best to try to get people out, but they all, like I said, Demeter has poisoned them. And I believe in the end of season 2, they figured out it was Demeter, Hermes, because he's smart, you know, he keeps his ears to the streets, ears on the between all of the planes, Hades, earth, heavens. And so they can't do too much. They not even at their full string. And now Demeter is over here looking dumb because, girl, when they need their powers the most, you can't do nothing, and you're watching your family die. The most that she could do is keep Hades from dying and try to get Persephone up out of there. But you can really see like the guilt, shame, regret, and remorse cross her face. And with the animation and the expressions on everybody's faces, the animators snapped. The animators snapped, and I'm just gonna put that as a blanket over the entire season. This season, by far, with the fighting sequences, the special effects, the human emotions that are conveyed across these storylines, and the things that are said and unsaid, chef's kiss, 10 out of 10. Here's the review in the middle of this recap or whatever. 10 out of 10. Now, y'all. So everybody know like Aries is the god of war. But I also feel like Aries is like the root word of arrogant, because like that's exactly what we saw. So Aries is popping up, and one of his sisters like, bruh, a smart man knows when to walk away, baby. We need to get out of here. And he's all like, I've walked away from this beast once. I won't run again. Anyways, this fight lasted all of 2 punches before that tail pierced a hole in him the size of his ego. Aries, baby, what are we doing? What are we doing? So Seraphim is like, listen, I'm finna get the fuck up out of here, because what y'all got going on, that ain't none of my business. I'm finna just stick to, the rivers and the lakes that I'm used to, and I'm getting to bay. But Heron stops him, and he's like, bro, listen, now at the time, like, I know we just recently found out we were related or whatever, but there's this prophecy. It involves both of us, or at least one of us. And so until we figure out like who is the one, then we need to work together. And Seraphim's like, what that got to do with the price in China? Like, them is your people's, not mine. And Heron's like, bro, what? And Seraphim's like, if you don't get out of my way, and at this point, they fist fighting. And they fist fighting like only brothers can do. Mind you, both of them got swords that got powers. Both of them have powers. It's just straight up fisticuffs, frustration, and a fight rooted in love. And they finally finish, breathing hard after beating each other up, and it's a stalemate. And Heron's like, listen, I can't let you do what you want to do on your own. And I cannot do what I want to do on my own. We literally need each other. In order for both of us to get what we want, we have to work together. And so they wiping the little blood or whatever off of their mouth. And Seraphim's like, okay, whatever. I guess we share the room. So I guess we could share like this prophecy or whatever. Moving into the prophecy. So basically the one, whomever that is supposed to bring peace between heaven and earth, right? But Hera and all of them done shook some shit up, and now Gaia is in play. And what does Gaia do this season? She's tired of them. She said, I'm releasing Typhon, I'm releasing the Furies, and I'm releasing the Titans. Like, she literally said, release the Kraken, and just went back on her high horse and was just watching everything unfold. Now, y'all already know the story of Cronus, right? So, like, Cronus, when he was having all his babies or whatever during the Titan era, he went to the Oracle and they was like, yeah, one of your kids is gonna usurp you. And he was so jealous and so egotistical that he was eating his kids and killing them. But Zeus's mom hid Zeus in the mountains because she was like, you not gonna be eating my babies. Like, bro, what is wrong with you? What's wrong with you? So, Zeus grew up, all his other siblings and stuff that, ended up surviving. Cool, blues. Zeus realized like what's going on, and Zeus, he defeated Cronus and the Titans, locked them up or whatever. But now, here they go, baby. It's like Teen Titans Go during this season. And at this point, they're like trying to figure out what to do. Cronus is like, yeah, I'm taking over. Where is Zeus? I want his head on a platter, because This is a beef that is rooted in celestial pettiness, baby. He is not letting it go. He will destroy everyone and everything. And so they are giving him Zeus on a platter. And I will give it up to the Olympians. When push came to shove, even Demeter, even Hades, and mind you, Hades is getting tortured, bruh. They all held it down. And as somebody who has a lot of siblings, they really just, it was really just one of these seasons of like, only I can beat up my siblings. Only I can talk shit about them. But the minute somebody else try to come around, like, no, it's all of us against you. And even when he was tossing people's souls into the abyss so that they would never exist ever again, you couldn't even pray to that God and manifest them anymore. They were holding it down. This is a type of like resolve and like war torturing that you just don't see. And honestly, I wasn't expecting it. Like, I was expecting Hades to cave. I was expecting Demeter to cave. But shout out to Hera for, really thinking quick on her feet and being one of the first ones to understand and realize, like, none of this had to be. If she would have just channeled her anger to Zeus and not like all his bastards or whatever, and if there was just better communication and no jealousy between the gods and the humans. Now, is it Zeus' fault? Yes, but I'm just saying, like, Hera is there now, right? She's Zeus's wife. She the leader of Mount Olympus. Like, it just is what it is. And so we got to rally everything together. And my good sis is working plan after plan after plan after plan after plan. She got plans A through Z. All y'all need to do is play chess and be where you need to be. And she does a great job at strategizing and buying time for people to place themselves where they need to go. So there's a lot of behind the scenes and scheming, especially with the women of Mount Olympus, as they employ the men to go do these things. So you just really see them all come together in a season where every episode is yanking you by your soul. Like, your faith and your string and your thread is literally lying in the balance of all 8 episodes of the season. So Cronus is like, listen, I'm gonna throw all y'all asses in the abyss if you don't tell me where Zeus is. And they have a plan, and everybody's aware of this plan. And Hera's like, hey, Cronus, listen, we ain't even got to do all that. How about a good old-fashioned scrap? 2-on-2, your best versus my best. And Cronus is like, I literally can step on every one of y'all. Like, why the fuck would I do this? And Heron and Seraphim are like, are you scared, bro? Are you scared that little demigods might beat you? And Cronus is like, all right, bet. When I kill y'all, I just want Zeus to know the pleasure that I got to crush his whole bloodline and all y'all sons of bitches. Like, it's me, it's Typhon, it's up. Even to the point where Heron's Amazonian girlfriend, but not girlfriend because they can't break the vows, and their other friend, they're like, okay, we're gonna be shields for Seraphim and Heron. Cronus was like, anyways, we don't need no shields because we're gonna beat y'all ass. This is literally about to take 5 seconds, and like, it is what it is. But listen, Seraphim and Heron locked in, and I mean locked, but they need a little bit more time. They need a little bit more time. And Heron and Seraphim are doing so amazing, fighting side by side. But Seraphim is just like, damn, like, we're not going to be able to keep up this pace with both of them. Like, these some big ass dudes. Like, we're not going to be able to keep up this pace. Like, fuck, like, what we need to do. And so, as Typhon is getting ready to do his, little heat wave Kamehameha from his chest, Heron's like, brother, I'm gonna do my part. Be ready to do yours. And my man goes deep within himself, and he locks in and he accesses the full DNA of his daddy. And Typhon lets out that fireball, and when everybody looking up, Heron is surrounded by a type of electricity, lightning, and energy that ain't nobody ever seen before a day in their life. Everybody is stunned. And you get this great voiceover and this great monologue about purpose and about life and about sacrifice and about love and about living. And he goes and he locks it the fuck in and changes the tide of the fight the entire time. During this time, the whole scheme and the whole plan finally comes to fruition. And Zeus ends up popping out. So Cronus now getting his ass beat because Typhon is no mas. Okay, heads rolled. And they beat his ass, boy. They was like, listen, you thought we was gonna play fair? We're not. Bro, you're fucking big. And so Cronus is like, what is this type of sorcery or whatever? And Zeus is like, babes, you and your arrogance is the reason that you're in this position right now. Yet again, you talk too much. You think you could beat everybody else. You think size matters, and it does not. So they all out there battling, hitting the 1-2. And Seraphim, he's getting his woman to safety and everything like that. And he has to make this choice between leaving them to it or whatever, or joining the fight once and for all. And as Zeus is getting ready to do a thunderclap on that ass, Seraphim grabs his brother's sword, puts it in his staff, and they all yield it, and it goes right through Cronus's head. And Seraphim just went through, snatched it out, grabbed his staff, and boom. Boom. And so, one of the things I was talking to the creators of Blood of Zeus as I saw this, and I was just like, I've never been more emotionally gripped from an animation series. And they kindly let me know everything that happens for a reason, to set the entire story up. And I feel like this was such a beautiful thank you to the fans and a beautiful farewell. I love how at the end we're getting the storytelling, right, from Zeus through voiceover and continuing to keep these stories alive. Hundreds of years from now, Heron will always mean hero, and Seraphim will forever be known as the one. And it's about legacy, it's about heritage, it's about culture. And regardless of the mistakes that you make in life or where you think you are because of the decisions that you made, there's always moments to be redeemed. When the moment to be redeemed holds its hand out to you, you just have to be courageous and brave enough to reach out and accept it, even when it's the scariest thing to do. And ultimately, what a beautiful message at this juncture, of course, to the Parlapanides brothers. Thank you so much for trusting me and giving me the opportunity to review this a few weeks ahead of the release. I've been a huge fan. I've been tweeting about Blood of Zeus for forever. It really got me through depression in 2020 when I was going through my own thing that had nothing to do with COVID. The storyboarding, the storytelling, the animation, the just sincerity and the rawness of everything. You can definitely tell that this is a show that was curated in love, curated in respect for just humans, and was really finished with a nice bow that gives you hope in humanity, gives you hope in faith, regardless of what you believe in. It really just finalizes like goodness and kindness. So thank you so much. It's been a pleasure communicating with you all and just tag teaming certain things. To all of the Blood of Zeus fans out there, watch these episodes. And for everybody that is new to Blood of Zeus, stream all 3 seasons. They are complete, so you don't have to be sad talking about when we're gonna do the next one. Stream all 3 seasons right now on Netflix. And of course, like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave comments in the comments box below. Don't say nothing sad because I have been crying about this damn season for 2 weeks. And I don't want to be crying with y'all in the comments. So, keep it light. If you got people who only listen to audio only, make sure you share the Spotify as well as the Apple Podcast link. You can always find me over on Instagram at So There's That Podcast, as well as Twitter at Kivanchi. And recently, you can also find me on TikTok at Kivanchi, where I do a lot more short form reviews on shows that I don't talk about on the podcast. So if you have something that you're interested in, or you want me to do a quick review or recap or my thoughts on, you can either leave a comment here, or you can head on over to TikTok and give me your suggestions, and I will put it in my rotation. And with that, I will catch y'all in the next podcast episode.